That's the total length of the track, Jeremy.
Kevin Curd is the president of the New Plymouth Tramping Club, which has more than 300 members and has already taken over maintenance of the Kiri track in Egmont National Park. He's worried some of DoC's other tracks could be closed.
They are indicating to us that there is going to have to be some of these tracks closed, and even the possibilities of losing huts, which is a concern to us. They cannot look after all the tracks that they've got, so they do have to make that decision. We accept that, but it does concern us that some of our people do like to go off track a little bit.
Kevin Curd says his club has balked at the idea of taking over responsibility for any of the 8 huts in the park.
We are concerned that if we do take over a hut, our present members might be keen to do that, but in 5 or 10 years' time, the members joining may feel that they don't want to look after that hut anymore and maybe feel that's DoC's responsibility.
Robin McNeill is the president of the Federation of Mountain Clubs of New Zealand, which represents 80 groups with a combined membership of 20,000. He says the Federation has helped dole out $400,000 of DoC money to groups who maintain backcountry tracks and huts.
Very, very nervous about how far, is this a slippery slope? We don't think so at the moment, and we're pretty confident it won't. But obviously we would not want to be looking after front country huts and tracks. That's definitely the Department of Conservation's concern, and they should be looking after those.
Robin McNeill says his members get a sense of ownership by doing the maintenance work, and DoC simply doesn't have the cash to maintain its 950 huts and 14,000 kilometre track network.
Do they spend scarce resources of money doing up a remote hut, or they try and save Kokako or Pauwilia Fenta? And that's a tension they've got, and they could spend an awful lot more money on biodiversity if they had more resources.
David Spears is DoC's operations director for the Waikato, Hauraki and Taranaki region. He says the current review is not about making savings.
We have a recreational budget. It is what it is. This is about, within that budget, making sure that we have the best range of offerings for current and future users. So it's not about saying we've got to cut a bunch of money out of the budget. It's not about that at all.
For example, David Spears says DoC actively manages 300 kilometres of track for recreational users in Egmont National Park, and the question is whether that is too much.
There are more tracks in Taranaki than are unnecessary, and far more than are needed to meet the needs. We're not about reducing the number of opportunities. It's more about saying, well, if we've got 5 of one kind of track, for example, do we need 5? Or is actually 2 more than enough?
David Spears says the review will take about 6 months, and it would be another year before any changes would be put in place. For Checkpoint, Robin Martin.